Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. I'm Doug, and today we're going to make a delicious, delicious crumb cake. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients we're going to need for our delicious crumb cake. First of all, you're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a half cup of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, and we're going to first put all those ingredients into a bowl and we're going to sift those ingredients. Okay, so we have our flour. Let's get our 1.5 cups of flour. Now when you get flour, you should always level it off with a knife because that could change the proportions. So this is 1 cup and we're gonna sift it. And then we want a half a cup. So let me do a half on this. Okay, there's my half. And we're gonna do our half cup of sugar. And I'm just going to sift that in my big bowl here. Also going to add, before I forget, my 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. There's 1, and here's my half. And remember, it's 2. So 2.5 teaspoons. And a half teaspoon of salt. Okay. I'm going to continue to sift the flour and those dry ingredients. And now, in a separate bowl, we're going to add 1 large egg, and half cup of milk, two tablespoons of canola oil. Get my tablespoon. 1, 2. So 2 tablespoons of canola oil. I'm using organic. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2. So I have my whisk here. I'm just going to whisk it lightly. And then I'm going to put this with my dry ingredients. We're going to add this to the dry ingredients right here. And I'm just going to get a rubber spatula spoon and just mix that. Okay, I'm going to put on my oven at 325. We need to preheat it at 325. All right, so what you want, you need a baking sheet like this. Really get a small one. I don't have a smaller one than this. I thought I did and I don't. So hopefully this is gonna turn out okay. But we're going to get this batter here, this dough, and we're going to just spread this on this baking sheet. All right, so let me get all of it. And what I did with the baking sheet, I sprayed it with some non-stick spray, and also I floured it. So let's see how this is gonna turn out. Okay. I'm just getting a knife here and I'm spreading this onto my tray. Gonna put the topping on top, that crumble. In German they would say Streusel or Streusel, and we're gonna make the topping next. So I'm just, like I said, spreading this out evenly. You want this pretty much even, the same thickness. And I think a 9 by 13 baking sheet would be really good for this cake. All right. So let's pray this works out with this one. Okay, so we're back, and now we're gonna make the topping. We're gonna do our streusel or streusel, the crumble top. And basically in this bowl, we have 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. We're adding 1 cup of light brown sugar. We also have 1.5 teaspoons. Get my one in here, let me use my other one. 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Yum. Just love cinnamon. And this coffee cake, that's good. This coffee cake is really great for any time of the year, but I especially love it in the fall. So it's another fall item because I'm focusing on fall right now, even that it's summer, I know that, but it's something to think about for the fall. Or you can make it now, that's fine too. We're also going to add 2 sticks of melted butter. Now, when you melt your butter, you want to make sure it's cool slightly before you add it to your mixture. So let me get my butter. So we have our butter here that has been melted. This is 2 sticks of butter, and we're going to add it. And then I'm just going to kind of mix it together. Now just do it first with a spoon, but then you're gonna be using your hands. You're gonna be using your fingers, all right? All right, because you want it crumbly. So, mix that. Get it from the bottom and push it upwards. And you can kind of see the consistency now. This is the crumble. And you just want to keep kind of like mixing it and moving it around, you know, breaking it apart with your fingers, because you really want to incorporate that flour, okay? So I think it's good. I think it's mixed pretty well. And now all we're gonna do is gonna put our crumble top on top of our cake. Well, this is so good, guys. You're gonna love this. And like I said, it's really good for the fall too, you know? All right. Now our oven has been preheating to 325. It is ready. We're gonna put this in the oven and we're gonna let this bake for around 20 minutes or so. Okay, here it is. It looks and smells so yummy. And it's been about 20 minutes. So we're gonna let this cool a little bit. We're gonna add some powdered sugar on it, and then we're going to cut it up into squares. Okay, so it's been cooling a little bit. We're gonna get some powdered sugar, and we're just going to sprinkle the top. And we're probably gonna do this twice because it's still a little warm. So I'm gonna sprinkle the top with some powdered sugar, let that set for a little bit, and then we're gonna sprinkle it again, and then we'll start slicing it up. Can't wait to take a bite. We're gonna start to cut it, and I just have this cutter here, pastry cutter, and what we're gonna do is just cut it probably into about 3-inch, let me see, yeah, maybe about 3-inch, 4-inch squares. So this just makes it a lot easier. I'm gonna sprinkle it one more time with some powdered sugar. Okay, so I got a cooling rack right here, already cut my pieces, and I have some parchment paper underneath. We're going to go one more time with some powdered sugar. You definitely want to make sure the top is coated well with powdered sugar. And I just love crumb cake. I just love it. All right. All right. And we have our decorative stand here, our nice stand. We're gonna just add our pieces. Yum, looks great, and it tastes fantastic. I think you're really going to love this simple recipe. It's not hard at all to make, and you can add, if you wanted to, you can add some fruit to this. Maybe on the side you can have some fresh fruit if you wanted to. But the way I like mine is just with some coffee. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe. And please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye. Cheers.